We've had the Series 3 Apple Watch strapped to our wrist every single day for almost a year. That means it's time for our 11-month Series 3 Apple Watch review. Welcome everyone, it is Andrew here for AppleInsider. And last September, I picked up the Space Black stainless steel Apple Watch with LTE. This isn't the first Apple Watch I've owned, but this is the first time I've opted for the Space Black stainless steel rather than the silver. Usually after a year of daily wear, the silver stainless steel Apple Watch would be covered in tiny little micro abrasions, but that does not seem to be the case here with the Space Black. Of course, this is not a Series 3 thing, but just any of the Space Black stainless steel Apple Watches. But for me, it was my first time experiencing it, and I was pretty impressed that this thing had been pretty much unscathed after wearing it for a year. There's literally not a single scratch around any of the sides or on the screen itself. That not only keeps it looking great after a time, but can really help the resale value if I ever choose to sell it. I also made the tough call this year to opt for the LTE version. I really wasn't certain I was going to use it, but I figured I might as well give it a try, and then if I didn't like it, I could just turn off the LTE plan and just use it as a standard Apple Watch. But after having it, I kind of became addicted to it. It was amazing how many times I actually left my phone at home and didn't really realize how many times that I was doing it. But anytime I went out for a run, took the dogs for a walk, or even our little weekend trips to the lake house where we would go down to the boat and I wouldn't have my phone with me, I wouldn't have things like my music. But with the LTE Apple Watch, I did. I had my entire Apple Music library right there on my wrist. I could pair my workout headphones, those Libertone Track Plus that you saw, or I could opt for just my AirPods if I was lounging around. More importantly, if I went out for a run and left my phone at home, I could still lock my door using my August. I don't have to take a key or anything, and I can still get security alerts while I'm gone. If I'm gone for an hour at a time, I want to know if someone happens to come into my home, if a door gets unlocked. I want to be able to see those things. And with the Series 3 Apple Watch with LTE, I was still getting all those alerts. I could literally see previews from my cameras right on my wrist to know if I needed to be concerned. It definitely made me feel more comfortable when I wasn't at home or I didn't have my phone with me. Not to mention the fact that I could still get phone calls, get text, all of that while on my wrist. I can respond to all of those using Siri, which is a lot faster here on the Series 3 as well. Workouts didn't change too much on the Series 3. watchOS 3 brought a few little niceties there, but the biggest thing was swimming. Now I'm a scuba diver and I would love to be able to take my watch with me down on those dives, but for now it still stays on the boat. But I've definitely taken it swimming laps in the pool quite a few times, and I really did enjoy it. It was really nice being able to have that there. I could actually still get my glucose alerts on my wrist. I could still get text, everything else. I could see the notifications even if I didn't always interact with them while I was actually in the water. Not only was it nice for swimming laps, but just when we're hanging out on the lake, and I still want to be able to have my watch on, get notifications while I'm in the water, and not have to keep going back up and trying to get to my phone. It was just a really nice thing to have. If you're not around the water much, it's not going to make a big deal, but even just wearing it in the shower, I felt a lot better about it because I didn't have to worry about my watch getting destroyed if it got even a little bit wet. There was obviously waterproofing before, but not nearly the amount of resistance that we saw here with the Series 3. The biggest game changer for me with the Series 3 though, has to be the speed. Just throughout the OS, everything seems very smooth. I'm not seeing as many load times as I did in the past. On the original Apple Watch, using it was very frustrating at times because all the time it took forever for an app to load, for screens to load, for Siri to respond to you. It just made it using it a pain. But on the Series 3, everything is so nice and smooth and fast, including using Siri. Now I can just go through the Siri watch face and trigger a bunch of stuff. watchOS 4 going to make this even better. But when I ask Siri to do something, she responds almost instantly. If I tell her good morning, she can set my good morning HomeKit scene right away. Just a second or two later, my lights start to turn on. I can't tell you how much better that is to actually use the Apple Watch instead of sitting there and waiting. No one wants to hold their wrist up in the air while they wait for something to load, for Siri to respond. It's much easier just to grab your phone at that point. But here, it works so much smoother on this new version of the Apple Watch. After comparing my usage on the Series 3 versus the Series 2 and my original Series 0, there's just a huge difference in how much I'm using this day to day. My usage has increased significantly, and all because it's faster and easier to use. The biggest problem right now is there's still not a lot of apps that are solely on the Apple Watch. They still rely a lot on the iPhone, which can make it a little bit less useful when you're taking it on the go. I still wish more developers would embrace the Apple Watch, but it's going to take more usage from users to actually get them to embrace it. One thing that I don't care about is the battery life. It's been pretty awesome. Occasionally on a weekend, I'll maybe wish I could get like the whole weekend out of it without having to charge. But for the most part, it only takes a little bit of time to charge. I can easily make it through a day and a half, maybe 2 days, depending on use. So for me, the Apple Watch battery is absolutely fine. Looking forward to the Series 4, I'm not sure if I'm going to upgrade. Right now, I am perfectly happy with the Series 3. It is the best Apple Watch, the best smartwatch ever to hit the market, and I don't regret for a second getting the space black stainless steel or getting LTE. But the one thing that could encourage me to maybe upgrade would be a larger display. Just getting rid of those bezels, keeping a similar shape. Because right now it does look a little bit chunky and bulbous. But we'll have to wait and see what Apple has in store. What do you guys think of the Series 3 Apple Watch? Let us know down below in the comments.
If you enjoyed this video, like it and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out our price guide, which makes it extremely easy to find the best deals on Apple products updated daily. Be sure to follow us on social media, and we'll see you in the next video.